So, what we have today is the Sig Sauer P365 X Macro. I picked one of these up. I've been looking for a smaller gun. I normally carry my M&P 9C during the summertime, but I've been having lots of people tell me they really like the 365. Got lots of friends that have one, so I held off long enough and I decided to pick one up. I chose the X Macro. I don't know why, but it does have this ported front. I think it's like a 3.1 inch barrel, 17 round mag capacity, which is crazy for how much thinner this is than the other ones. I slapped a TLR 7A light on it. That's pretty nice so far. I have the ability to put a red dot on this, and I have one in the gun safe. I'm gonna shoot to not tonight, but in this as night is coming on with the iron sights, and see how I like the sights. They look really good right now. Not for sure if I'm gonna stick it that way and stick with the iron sights, or probably put a red dot on this. So we'll see how it goes. I'll just shoot a little bit with the irons for now. And now, one thing, and the reason I've got this out here is what I have in here is I have exactly 500 rounds of 9mm. I do not carry a firearm for self-defense if it has not been able to shoot through 500 rounds with 0 failures, unless they're my failures. I am okay with my own failures, but not the gun's failures. So, now, to be honest, several times, first couple rounds I've shot out of newer guns, the spring may be a little bit tired, need to be loosened up a little bit. I mean, just get a couple rounds through it. But generally, I do not want to see anything go wrong with this. I'll be looking at every round. I've shot this ammunition. I've got thousands of this rounds. I've shot through this on other guns. I don't really necessarily ever have problems with primer strikes or things like that. So I know that this bag has been sealed ever since I bought it. So it should be good. And I only have 2 mags right now. So I will have to be loading them as I go through. But this will be the box dedicated to shooting this, for the fact of that I know when I get through the 500 rounds I can then carry it. I know a lot of people don't do that. You know, I know there's no reason I can't trust the gun necessarily. There's nothing wrong with what I've been. I don't know anything about the gun that could be potentially bad. But it's just what I've always done, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I've been doing that for years with any of the concealed carry guns that I've carried. You know, stupid or not stupid is kind of what I do. And, you know, I just want to make sure it operates. And generally, I don't clean my pistol, so even after the 500 rounds, it's going to be a dirty, you know, gun. It's not going to get cleaned. It'll get a little bit of lube, and that's about all it's ever going to get. So, anyways, we'll get some of these mags loaded, and we'll do our shooting for this little bit for the night, and start putting the rounds through it. And I don't know if I'll be able to get through all the rounds this weekend. That probably should be my goal. I need to pick up some more mags for this thing. Hopefully I can. When I tried to buy them, they were out. So I'll try and get some more mags. That way I can kind of preload them and be able to just run through these rounds with some more drills and things like that a little bit faster. So it's going to be a little bit slower for me right now, but you know, hell, I mean, you're really at, you know, practically 20 rounds and 2 mags, so you're going to be able to go through the, you know, the 500 relatively quickly. So anyways, let's get into it, I guess. So, first of all, yes, 17 rounds fit in this, and I was wondering how they were going to get 17 rounds in a magazine that was smaller than the P320 magazines that barely hold 17. It is tight. I would really honestly call it a 16 round mag, because that was Now they're obviously new, so the springs are a little bit tight, but that was pretty impressive how much force it took me to get into those rounds in there. So yeah, maybe after it loosens up, we'll see. But they absolutely fit 17 rounds, and you know, I mean, it is quite a bit thinner profile than the P320. So they squeezed every ounce of room out of that piece. There's no more room left. And I am using the T-Rex Arms sidecar, but I got their newer model for this one. So I've had the old one for years, and I finally swatched over to the new one. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, it's I could tell it was a little bit lighter, and the buckling mechanism where it latches the extra mag really does seem to help with how rigid the old ones were. So obviously it's the first time I've worn it, so that's just initial assessment. So we'll find out more as I carry that, or when I start carrying it regularly. So let's. Ooh, buddy. Tight. So let's just do some draws, and then I probably won't do a lot of practice. I don't have my timer on me right now, so we'll just do some draws and shoot some and just pick between the targets. So, man. Freaking muzzle flash on this thing. First of all, I hope the camera can catch the muzzle flash. Now it is darker, but out of the top of the basically the brake or whatever on the front of the gun. Every time I pull the trigger, all I see is this fireball come out the top of the gun. So they've got this cut on the front, and it is throwing fire out the front of that thing. So I'll get a different angle, and we'll I'd like to see if I can catch some of that on there. See how that looks. So I didn't notice before, but my it's gotten dark enough that I've had to go to the 35mm setting on my camera and bump up the ISO quite a bit because it was trying to focus and it couldn't really see in the darkness that well. So it's not as bright as it appears. So I bumped up the ISO to be able to see that. And it's not shooting at 60 frames per second right now. It's shooting at around I think I'm set on 24 or 30 frames per second. So I may not be able to slow anything down and catch any of the good footage of the fireball, but we'll see. And I'll still switch back to the other one. Maybe I'll set up a manual setting over here somewhere and try and get some fireball footage. But for now, I'm just going to shoot some more, and I'm just going to go through these rounds, and I'll do another load, and then we'll do some trying to catch some fireballs. Well, I'm not doing so good at not missing, I can tell you that. Shooting at some of the further targets out here. So, ooh, she's a hot one. That light's pretty nice. Let's load some more and try and set up a manual setting over here and try and catch some fireball. Load it up. Let's shoot some more. Put some, man, that is stiff. Woo, man, that is stiff. Well, I haven't bought a new gun in a while, so I don't know if that's normal or not. It's been a little while. Let's shoot some more, and definitely gonna throw fireballs. So the gun's definitely got a lot of recoil. I don't see a whole, well, I'm assuming that it's mitigating quite a bit with that ports up front like that. But it's got quite a bit of recoil compared to a normal handgun. It is smaller, so I've got to get used to the grip required to really manhandle this thing down. Let's do a little bit of shooting with using the light, toggling the light back and forth, so we'll play around with that a little bit. Okay, that hurts. Whew, okay, so when you're doing temporary hold on that, the amount of recoil that goes into my thumb holding that button down is pretty substantial amount of recoil there. I'm gonna have to shoot this gun a lot to get used to it. It's just got quite a bit more recoil than I'm used to with all my other guns. I mean, I'm missing like crazy, and I shouldn't be that bad, but I'm kind of wondering if I'm aiming too high, and now it's a little bit better. Huh. Well, that's kind of weird. So I'm not used to having to aim that low with iron sights. So normally, you know, your iron sights, you got your post, and you line up in the center, and you cross the top. And if I split my target, depending on which one I'm shooting at, I'm having to actually aim a little bit lower on the target. So it's kind of weird. I don't really know. I mean, I've got these targets at pretty general range that you normally don't have to have that kind of problem. It should be really well, pretty much any of these in this area, just split them and it should work pretty well. So we'll shoot a little bit more and, you know, pick this up some more, and I'll probably add to this video maybe shoot tomorrow or something like that when it's daylight. So we'll see. We'll shoot the rest of this mag and go out of it. Just a couple more rounds left, and that'll be it. A little bit more than a couple, but you know. Anyways, liking it so far. Got to get used to the recoil a little bit there. It's got quite a bit more than I'm used to. I also shoot a little bit bigger guns normally, so maybe I got little bitch hands. I don't know. It's probably true too. But we'll keep going and get through all 500 of these rounds. Probably be tired of pulling the trigger by then, so we'll see. Wow. Missing. Man. Trying to get too fast on the draw. Missing like crazy. Fumbled that one.